Hurricane season is about to ramp up as we go through the very beginning of June for the Atlantic side, especially for the Gulf and the Western Caribbean. Now, we still have this weather pattern coming, bringing all this flooding for about a week. I'm still showing that true, but right after that is where a big transition is going to happen. Showing we have an area to watch right along the mid-Atlantic of the southeast, the eastern Gulf over here by the Bahamas and Florida. So right now you don't know rainfall coming towards Florida. Matter of fact, the next 7 days, very little bit. But the weather pattern change will bring a lot of rainfall towards Florida, help out tremendously with your drought. But unfortunately, we could see a quick storm spin up. Now, there's something I want you to see. When you go into a negative PNA, you get that deep trough along the southern U.S. going up on a very high ridge. I'm still showing we're going to stay in this weather pattern all the way for the end of this month. But right after that is where it's going to transition to a positive PNA, which is exactly the opposite. You get the high ridge on the western U.S. bringing in warmer temperatures, and you get the trough coming in from the eastern United States. Now, this could potentially bring some cooler weather, but it's not going far south into the U.S. But the weather pattern this is bringing right at the beginning of hurricane season. So we're going to have storms building up for the beginning of hurricane season as we get all this precipitation coming around into the Western Caribbean, into the Gulf, and going to this direction while we're getting that trough. So the area to watch is going to be along this area for possible formation for the very beginning of June. Now, you can see this when you look at your data. I'm a data man, so I like to go through the data. It comes out later into the models, let you know what's around the corner before the models even show it. So when you look at your PNA, your Pacific North American pattern, you can see we stay in this negative pattern all the way until the very beginning of June, right when hurricane season starts. Then we're going into that positive PNA for a little while. Now, before you say, oh, Mark, that's just the European, look at all the models, everybody. You got the Euro, you got the Ensemble Prediction System, the medium and the long range. For the Euro, you got the GFS, you got the Ensembles, you got the AI, you got the Canadian. They're all agreeing that we're going to stay in this negative PNA, and then a sudden positive is coming into fruition as we go to the very beginning of June, the very beginning of hurricane season. Now, at the same time, I'm not showing a lot of cold air coming around that time. It'd be about the same that you're dealing with now. It'd be cooler temperatures towards the north, not towards the south. Now, you can see this when you look at your weather pattern. So this is your jet stream. You can see your subtropical jet gets involved, bringing into that negative PNA all the way from the west, going up on that higher ridge towards the east. Now, this is what's going to help bring that flooding towards the south as well. But look how long we stay in this weather pattern, everybody. You can see that trough sticks in for quite a number of days. And once we go around 5 days and beyond, then it starts shifting a little bit towards the central U.S. But still showing we're going to stay in that negative PNA all the way to the very beginning of June. Just bringing a lot of storms, warmer temperatures across the central, eastern U.S. It's going to bring cooler temperatures across the western U.S. Matter of fact, the southern U.S. will be a little bit below average because of the storms, but then it's going to switch. You can also see this on your vapor transport that we still have this big high pressure into the Atlantic. This is a big high, is going clockwise like this, and it will expand like this and bring a wider high pressure, still funneling all this precipitation into the southern U.S., while you have this high pressure over here into the Pacific, bringing everything into that negative PNA. Still showing it's going to be a big flooding event as we go through this weekend all the way through next week, just bringing a lot of precipitation across the southern U.S., the Tennessee, Kentucky Valley, towards the northeast. So the update on the flooding first, you can see that the heavy precipitation is coming in this big green area all the way from the 26th, especially on the 27th. And our area for flooding possible has grown greatly all the way from Texas, Louisiana, southern Arkansas. This could stretch into Mississippi as well. This is going to bring a lot of flooding and still showing for the next 7 days, a big area of 2 to 3 inches, maybe even more of rainfall coming through. And we still have a hot spot over here across the south for anywhere from 5 to 8 inches. Now, this is Weather Prediction Center. This is not the Euro. This is not the GFS. This is the forecast. And showing somewheres in there could be easily 9 or 10 inches of rainfall coming. It would be for Texas. Now, you can also see on the latest drought monitor, we are going to get some of that across the central U.S., and it is going to be well needed. It's only going to be a very little bit. But we will accept all that rainfall into this region as that comes across. Now for Florida, Georgia, parts of South Carolina, the southeast, your rainfall is coming as we go through that transition for the very beginning of June. So it will help out with your drought tremendously, but at the same time, you need to watch for quick tropical formation. I'm showing it's going to be late formation, if anything. Showing the latest information on our potential velocity anomaly. I did see that some people were a little confused by this graph. So when you have this orange to this red, this emphasizes a lot of sinking air that's going to be moving through, which is hard for thunderstorms to grow if they can't go higher into the atmosphere. So this is a lot of sinking air, no formation expected when you see this. This right here in this blue, this is a lot of rise in motion, a lot of favorable environment coming through where thunderstorms could grow quickly and go high into the atmosphere. So as you look for our region, you can see Central America right here. So we have the Caribbean right above it. We have the Gulf right to the west of it. Then you have the Eastern Pacific and you have the MDR, our main development region, where we get storms coming off the coast of Africa, usually not this early into the season. But at the same time, you can see that as we go through the very beginning of June, not only do we have a very big and strong favorable pocket of energy that's going to move across, it has grown even more since my last update. Showing right afterwards, more likely we'll get jumbled again for the Atlantic side of the hurricane season. But this right here, we need to take seriously. This is going to be the next area to watch. Now, so you can see this wave moving across. You can see for the next 5 days, we have a little bit of favorable environment over here for the southern U.S. We're getting some thunderstorms coming through, but a lot of sinking air other than that, and a lot of rise in motion, favorable environment that's moving through from the Pacific. This will go east. So you can see as you go further, as you go from the 23rd towards the 28th of May, this starts moving over and bringing chances not only for more storms across the south, we have all that precipitation funneling in as well, but as you go further, you can see the very beginning of June, this is going to grow. This is where we're going to get a lot of chances for not only tropical storms, more than likely our first hurricane into the Pacific. Then past that, look how it comes further across. Now we have a lot of lift coming across the southern U.S., the southwestern, the Gulf, the southeastern U.S., the Bahamas, the Caribbean, just a lot of favorable energy moving through. And this is all the way towards the 7th. After that, it's going to stay there for another few days. I'm showing this is going to last for the first half of June. So make sure you subscribe and follow along for updates. So far, we have a few more updates for this morning that changed from yesterday. Now you see your chance for a tropical cyclone period, and you can see the chances of it and the graph up here, the percentage, showing it will favor the Eastern Pacific as we go towards the end of May. You can see it right here on the bottom. And as we go further, you can see all this gets pulled further north along the southeast for something to form up, showing this will transition more towards Central America, but something could spin up real quick across the southeast as it's getting pulled out through the east, northeast, showing we will stay in that weather pattern all the way into the middle of June, showing it will intensify. It will be there for that weather pattern, then it will get stronger, especially towards the Gulf, so we need to watch out for this. And just checking for chances for a tropical depression, you can see it grows as we go from the beginning of June at the end of May. So this is definitely the region we need to watch. This is already growing before it didn't even show this northward. But this dust is also coming off the MDR, our main development region, and it is thinning out by the time it hits the Caribbean still. Watch out for the dust. Make sure you wear your mask if you have them over there for that dust. And look how this goes all the way into the Caribbean. Then we start seeing that northward push. So everything comes to the west and then it starts funneling in into this direction. So that's what we need to watch out for. And you can see it again as it comes into that direction. It starts getting stopped and funnels into that direction. So it is going to deal with dust. It's not a lot of dust. All the main dust is staying out here from the Eastern Caribbean into the MDR. But it's still, there could be a Saharan air layer that we need to watch out for that could stop thunderstorm growth. That's why I don't think we will see a hurricane, God forbid. I think we will see more than likely a tropical storm like we normally do go into this region. Just like we had Tropical Storm Alex bringing the heavy rainfall for southern Florida. That could be another repeat, because you can also see on the water transport that as you're going through that phase, as you get that high pressure starting to move further east, all this moves further north. And that allows for our weather pattern to kick in, where you're getting that turn, you're getting that trough of that high pressure of cooler air coming through, and you have that period where the high pressure moved east, the high pressure is moving in because we're going into that positive P&A, and everything funnels into this direction. So this is what we need to watch out for the beginning of hurricane season. Now you can see this when you look at the ensembles, showing the Euro first as we go towards the very beginning of June, very end of May. We're going to start getting some explosive activity into Eastern Pacific. This is how you're going to see it. Then it's going to transition further towards the east. And you can see this right afterwards. A chance for growth goes from Central America into the Gulf, into the southeast, and along the east coast. So this is where our first storm is going to form up, is around that time. Matter of fact, it's showing more confidence in these ensembles. You can see this with GFS as well. As soon as you leave May and you go into the very beginning of June, the chances for something to form in the Eastern Pacific, the Caribbean, the Gulf, the Southeast greatly grows. Showing on the latest deterministic models, you can see this with GFS. The one that came through early this morning shows something to form up somewhere after 10 days over here by Central America going towards Mexico. Then maybe another one forming up right afterwards, peeling off towards the east. Now this is too far to take as accuracy. It's past 10 days, but we can see the weather pattern where something is going to form, more than likely, everybody. The latest update this morning that just come out, you can see the same thing. Something forming up right at 10 days into the Pacific, more likely our first hurricane for the Pacific. Then something forming up right over here across the Caribbean, going out through the Atlantic side. Now this could easily go further towards the east. It could get pushed further towards the east coast of the U.S. It all depends what this high pressure in the Atlantic is going to do. I will keep you updated. It's too far to know for sure. Now, when we look through the ensembles on the possibilities, you can see with the GFS showing possibilities of forming up from the Western Caribbean going into Gulf, also the Eastern Pacific. And you look at the other ensembles, you can see that is an opportunity where we can get something forming up along that time. You can also see with the Euro ensembles showing the same thing. Something could form up around that time. And once again, it could be something very weak, everybody. So keep that into factor. You can see this very weak, or it could be something stronger that goes into the Gulf. It's just too far to know for sure. All we can do is look at the weather pattern that we're going into. And that's what we're seeing on the latest ensembles. That as we get around 8 days, things could form up over here by Central America, and possibilities of this forming up close towards home. And you can see this. They don't form up till late. All these are forming up late right off the coast. So we really need to watch out really close for this region for something to form up at the very beginning of June. Might even go into the Western Caribbean as well. That is your latest update of what's happening for our hurricane season and the weather pattern around the corner in general. So make sure you're aware of all that heavy rainfall still coming your way. Thank you for your time, everybody. Hope you have a very blessed day out there today. If you think this information is valuable, think about other people. Please share this to other people. Let them see this as well. Thank you so much. Now, before I go, a quick word from our Father, everybody, a quick warning. Jeremiah 6:8-14. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall thoroughly glean the remnant of Israel as a vine. Turn back thine hand as a grape gatherer into the baskets. To whom shall I speak and give warning, that they may hear? Behold, their ear is uncircumcised, and they cannot hearken. Behold, the word of the Lord is unto them a reproach. They have no delight in it. Therefore I am full of the fury of the Lord. I am weary with holding in. I will pour it out upon the children abroad, and upon the assembly of young men together. For even the husband with the wife shall be taken, the aged with him that is full of days. And their houses shall be turned unto others, with their fields and wives together. For I will stretch out my hand upon the inhabitants of the land, saith the Lord. Far from the least of them, even unto the greatest of them, every one is given to covetousness, and from the prophet even unto the priest, every one dealeth falsely. Amen. Thank you for your time, everybody. Hope you have a very blessed day today. Make sure you're aware of this weather pattern coming. Florida and the southeast, you do have relief coming finally. But unfortunately, it's going to bring chances of a storm as well. So make sure you're aware of that. Definitely watch out for the flooding. Remember, above all things, everybody, all glory does go to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I always hope he keeps you safe every single day of your life and forever. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you again tomorrow, God willing.